Welcome to another episode of From Frackan to Financial Freedom. Ooh, I don't know, man. Today gets deep. Today today gets deep. Man, this is another episode. This is really a deep episode, man. That kind of really ooh, jumps off into a place in people's lives that they don't really show you. You know what I'm saying? And we're talking about our childhood traumas. Our childhood traumas. Man, our traumas from our childhood, man, it affects us. It affects us in so many ways. It's something that I've had to learn. It has affected me. It's affecting me. And I'm sure that it affects a lot of people. So that's what we're going to talk about. Childhood traumas and how it festers into our lives and our marriages, our relationships, and it's really effective. And unless you understand it, understand what it is, you'll never overcome it. So let's go, man. Let's talk about it. Let's do it. Okay. So, our childhood traumas. So, just like you start off anything else, just like you learn anything else, you have to understand what it is, right? You have to understand what childhood trauma is, right? So, you know me, I'm looking up stuff and I'm trying to really understand what childhood trauma is, right? And I'm like, here we go. Right here, it says childhood trauma. So if you've experienced these things, right? And I'm no doctor, no psychiatrist or anything like that. I'm just going by what I, am researching. If you've went through some of these things, you may have trauma from your childhood, physical violence, sexual abuse, national disasters, loss of a loved one, abandonment, foster care, any other event where you felt scared, helpless, horrified, or overwhelmed. So, yeah, if you've experienced some of those things that I've listed, you may have childhood trauma. You know what I'm saying? So, it's really something that you don't really notice, until you really like, you know what, something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? Something's definitely wrong with the way that I am, treating people. I'm having, my relationships are just not going well. There's a common denominator somewhere, and you have to look in the mirror a lot of times, real talk. So next, it says in this article, check this out. It talks about attachment styles. Like, there's four of them. These four types of attachment styles are basically how you attach and how you develop relationships and how you attach to people, right? So I think the first one is, check this out. It says secure. Basically meaning secure is someone with this attachment style is open to open to establishing trusting and close relationships with other people. So you don't really have a problem developing relationships and trusting other people or anything like that. Next one is anxious preoccupied. Those who establish this attachment style may experience significant fear of being abandoned and a need to be validated constantly. So there's people that always has to be told, that always has to be, has to be validated for what they're doing or what they said, or, it's just, they always have to be validated. Next is dismissive. Let me scroll down. Dismissive avoidance. It says this attachment style may experience fear of emotional intimacy. So if you're dismissive or avoidance, you are kind of in a way scared to be vulnerable and kind of show some intimacy. Meaning when you have a relationship, if you're having a relationship with a woman, you are just doing the small thing, not something that's way beyond sex and being physical. I'm talking about showing intimacy to a woman. It's just basically paying attention to her, just really noticing and doing the little things that they really appreciate, that feeds them emotionally. That's intimacy. It could be physical, you know what I'm saying? So it's just the little things that lead up to something that could be sexual or something like that. Real talk. So in the last one, it says fearful avoidance. It says this attachment style may crave the attention and love and love from their significant others, but at the same time avoid emotional intimacy on their part. So it says you crave attention. You always want the attention from their significant, from your significant other. You always want their attention, and you avoid it when it's time to be emotional intimacy. You avoid it. You really run from that. So, man, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be honest with you, and I hope. I have struggled from some of these. I really have. And a lot of us do. A lot of us do. And that's why we're having the conversation. So, it was just, bro, it was a really, really good article. A really, really good article. So, and I think the last one, let me see if I read in this article. Oh, yeah. The last one was communication styles. We all know communication. If you, I think it's good to say that if you do not have proper communication skills, which a lot of us do not, including me, something that I'm having to work on and practice and get better at. And communication, we just wasn't taught that. We just wasn't taught proper communication styles. It's really interesting. Check this out. Communication styles. He says there's three of them, right? There's passive, passive aggressive, and aggressive. Passive is indirect, self-denying, or apologetic. That's your communication style. That's the way you communicate. If you do these things, if you're indirect, if you like self-deny, or you're always apologetic, apologizing about something. So passive aggressive, emotionally dishonest, and self-enhancing at the expense of others. Emotionally dishonest. So you really are not even honest with yourself emotionally, on top of not even want to show that side of you, your emotional side. So aggressive is you're inappropriate for some situations. You're blaming, controlling, direct, and attacking. So So aggressive is you get on the offensive. You get offended really, really quickly. You see a lot of things as an attack on you. You are blaming, you are controlling, and inappropriate just in some situations. That's an aggressive communication style. You know what I'm saying? So, and we're just going through these and talking about these so people can understand what they are and and how do you even start to kind of fix it. And you can't help or give anybody anything else, love, intimacy, whatever, if you do not conquer yourself. It's just not going to happen. It's self first. You have to understand the things that are about you that you struggle with, and you have to fix them. The feedback that you're getting from other people, and you really have to really look inside yourself, and you have to want to do it. First of all, some people are just like, this is just the way I am. And that's crazy. So, what's the last thing? It goes to it goes to a recap. Like the end of the article. It said it said, you know what? Some of the trauma from our childhood. Sometimes I know this is like taboo or something like that, but sometimes you may have to see therapy. You may have to get therapy, man. You may have to get therapy. It says it here, therapy. It says having the support of someone who specializes in trauma makes a difference. They'll be able to listen to you without judgment, guide you step by step to better relationship and increased self-awareness. So, I mean, sometimes some people, you have to get therapy, like to help you, like, what the hell is wrong with me? Please help me. Sometimes you have to do it. I mean, so I thought that was interesting. I thought that was an interesting article. Our our childhood trauma, it really, really shows up in more ways that you really realize. And the article, just to kind of end it off, it talked about it talked about some books that are some good books. That's the last point. I wanted you guys, if for all my readers out there, because I am a reader. It had some really, really good books that you can read about self-awareness and emotions, and really just really telling about yourself in a relationship. Right here. There it is. It says, it says the body keeps score, attached, keeping the love you find, how to be adult in the relationships. If you're in my office, it's already too late, extraordinary relationship. So like jot down some of those books, man. Those are good books to read, good relationship books. You know what I'm saying? So that's it, man. That's what the episode was about today, man. It was short and quick. We had about 11 minutes, but man, I had to bring this to the forefront. Our childhood traumas, I mean, they're demons, man. They're demons, that a lot of some things that we have to fight. I mean, if I'm just putting myself out there, I grew up an only child, right? So until I was 15, until my little sister was born. But growing up an only child and being raised by a woman, you kind of have to figure out a lot of stuff on your own, and your perception of some things are like, what no, that's not the way it is. So, when you have to come up and you are alone and the only thing in your world is me, what am I fixing to do? What am I fixing to do? You really have to break selfishness and really have to fight with yourself about, hey, no. You have to shift your mind into thinking about other people first. No. Think about something else. How can you feed somebody else today outside of yourself? When I tell you that's been the biggest fight, and I'm just being 100. I'm telling you that's been the biggest fight, but I'm going to do it. And it's affected a lot of things, but y'all just say a prayer for me. But that's what the episode was about today, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that conversation. And let me know, do you experience, leave a comment, experience childhood trauma? I mean, we do. We just do. So subscribe the channel. And I want to really, really know what y'all think about childhood traumas. And does it affect us? It does. It does. It affects us in our adult life. It just does. So that was what the episode was about today, man. Good episode, good conversation, man. Good, really, really good conversation. So thanks if you stay to the end of the video, man. I really, really appreciate you. Like I said, again, we're fixing to get out of here. Subscribe to the channel. From Frack Can to Financial Freedom. These are the things that we talk about. This is your boy Lo Trey. I'm out.